So let's talk about how this whole thing works. What's going on with blood sugar metabolism and what's going wrong in diabetes. So whenever you eat, the food that you eat is broken down by the body into smaller pieces to be used in different ways. And so foods with the chemistry of carbohydrate are turned into blood sugar by the body. And that's a natural and normal process. We all go through it. We all need that blood sugar for energy. And so carbohydrates are found in any plant-based food. It's not just sugar, and it's not just your starches like your rice, potato, and pasta. Anything that's a plant is turned into blood sugar by the body. So fruits, vegetables, and your grains are all things turned into blood sugar. The difference is that they have different amounts. So vegetables don't have that much starch or carbohydrate in them. Fruits have a little bit more, and starches have even more. So we'll talk about the nutrition part later, but just know that anything that comes from a plant is turned into blood sugar. Again, natural, normal, totally fine. Doesn't mean those foods are bad. So as it moves to the stomach and into the intestine, it's broken down into that blood glucose or blood sugar, and it moves into the bloodstream to be transported to different areas of the body to give the body energy. And as it's in the bloodstream, a message gets sent to the pancreas saying, hey, pancreas, there's lots of blood sugar out here. Send out the insulin. And the insulin is the key to get the blood sugar from the bloodstream into the muscle where it belongs. And this is where things happen in diabetes that get a little messy. For people with type 1 diabetes, they are no longer making the key. They are no longer making insulin, whether it's due to an autoimmune condition or to an injury or an illness. Their pancreas is not making keys. And the only way for the blood sugar to get into the muscle to give it energy is by giving the body insulin. And without it, that means that the muscle's not getting energy, so it's starving. And the blood sugar is building up in the bloodstream, which is causing damage in the body. So we need insulin to move that blood sugar into the muscle where it belongs. So that's type 1 diabetes. They do not make insulin for whatever reason, whether it's autoimmune or an injury or illness. And now for type 2, it's a little bit different. So type 2, we're not totally sure what causes it. We have different hints, different clues, different things that we know might be more likely to increase it, but we don't have a surefire, yes, this is absolutely what causes it. In type 2, what happens is that the body, the pancreas, is typically making keys. However, the keys aren't working well. We call it insulin resistance. So not all of the doors are opening, and they're not opening all the way like they should. So the blood sugar is still moving into the muscle, but at a much slower rate, causing there to be a big backup of blood sugar into the body. However, because there's still a lot of blood sugar in the bloodstream, a message keeps getting sent to the pancreas to send more insulin, send more insulin, send more insulin, send more insulin, not really knowing, not understanding, and not realizing that the problem is that the keys aren't working. There's insulin resistance. And so over time, this can cause what we call pancreas burnout, where the pancreas is no longer making insulin. And then someone with type 2 diabetes might need to take insulin. That doesn't mean they're a type 1. It's a completely different physiology that's going on within the body. But just so you know, that's kind of how it works. There are also other types of diabetes. We won't go into them at this point, but that kind of gives you an overview about about type 1 and type 2 diabetes and how they work. In the next videos, we'll talk about what we can do to kind of help these processes.